accepted, challenge accepted. Reality is always challenge accepted. Challenge accepted, challenge accepted. Reality is always challenge accepted.
Welcome back, everyone. Coffee break is over.
Unless you're an AI, in which case you just didn't need such a break. Ladies and gentlemen, AI is everywhere. It is used in hospitals, in your phones, in your kids' homeworks, and yes, even in scripts to write jokes that aren't so funny always.
It's debated in parliaments, whispered about in classroom, and shouted across boardrooms.
It is a friend, but also a foe.
It's a blessing, but also a curse.
It is a tool, but also a weapon.
It's a creator, but also a destroyer.
It is a dream, but also a nightmare.
It's a remedy, but also a poison.
It is the beginning, but also the end.
Okay. Let's invite our next speaker who knows better than us what AI is.
He is well known across the testing world. He's been on the stages of EuroSTAR, TestCon, HUSTEF, TAPOST, and many more.
He's also the creator of fun-driven testing.
He's an organizer, a writer, and a true test community architect, spreading knowledge and good vibes all the way from the Netherlands.
Please give a warm and curious welcome to the end and to the one and only
René van Veldhuijzen, the Testimist.
So, wow, I like the introduction style, that's great. So, you're not in Kansas anymore. You're on Pandora. Ladies and gentlemen, respect that fact in every second of every day. Sorry, that was of course a famous quote from Colonel Mice Quartridge from Avatar from 2009. So if your AI assistant told you my talk was going to be about Avatar, you will be disappointed. No, but welcome to the age of Pandora AI. I'm going to tell you a story about hype, which AI is, hope, and the bugs that we brought with us. Because we made this. Well, maybe not the people here in the room, but we as a humanity. I'm René van Veldhuijzen. I'm a strategic consultant at Squarist, and I call myself the test positivo because are we in the most great job in IT or what? Yeah, let's be proud. I'm going to talk about Pandora's box, because AI is out of the box. We didn't just open a box, we triggered a cosmic pop-up window filled with brilliance, chaos, which was mentioned by Vipin, and everyone's favorite, cat memes. AI didn't sneak in quietly, it arrived like a party crasher. Confident, charming, and slightly terrifying. Let's rewind. Long before AI, there was Pandora. And now we, the testers, the QA specialists, are left holding the lid, wondering, is this a feature, a bug, or a philosophical crisis in Python? No, Pandora opened the box, not out of malice, but out of curiosity. And out came chaos, toil, despair, basically your first beta release. But at the bottom of the box, there is hope. Sounds familiar? Because we open environments, pipelines, and backlogs, and chaos just spills out, right? But somewhere in those logs, there's always a glimmer of insight. And I want to share that insight with you and talk about Pandora's box. Now, let's do a update, a Greek update, because it was Greek mythology. And actually, Pandora was the first woman, created by the god Hephaestus, the god for smithing and fire. She was sent by Zeus, the supreme god, to the mortals as punishment. Because the human, or the mortals that were on Earth brought disaster after Prometheus, the first man, and one of the titans, stole fire from the heavens. And we'll get back to Prometheus in a while, but she was belayed with gifts from the gods. Athena gave her intelligence, talent, manners, and some colorful clothing. Aphrodite gave her grace and divine beauty. And a host of other gods gave gold and put flowers in her hair and stuff like that. And finally Hermes, and sorry ladies about this, she gave her speech, that's okay, shameless thoughts, and a deceitful nature resulting in curiosity. Okay, but they offered Pandora to Prometheus, which is the guy in the middle, the big one. But he was like, no, I stole the fire, and a gift from the gods never goes without consequences, so not, pass. But then his younger brother, Epimetheus, he was not so bright, and he didn't listen to his big brother, so he said, yeah, okay, bring her on. And the gift from Zeus that Pandora got contained all the misfortunes that I just told you about, and it came in the form of a jar. A jar? Wait, I was talking about Pandora's box, wasn't I? But I have to rename it to Pandora's jar. Mythology is wrong, just like AI is hallucinating sometimes. So we have been hallucinating for many millennia. Raise your hand if you have ever opened your test environment and unleashed something that you didn't expect. So why are we so shocked that AI does the same thing? So what happens if this box, I'll keep calling it a box because jar doesn't feel right, isn't mythological, but it's algorithmic. And introducing AI, our new mischief maker. After decades of development, because AI has been around for at least 70 years, you should look it up. But after decades of development, tweaking, and different forms, we've seen Kasparov lose to Deep Blue, stuff like that. Some AI won Jeopardy. And AI suddenly showed up. Well, for us humans, with ChatGPT and all the other LLMs. It's friendly, it says hi and says nice things. Hey, great question. Ah, good for you. Go on. And, but it's unpredictable. We like that as test specialists, as QAs. And it is convinced it can fix everything with a motivational quote. It writes you haikus in your test logs. It suggests refactoring for your login flow into a choose-your-own adventure. And it insists that every test case needs a dragon. Is it helpful? Sometimes. Is it mischievous? Often. Confusing? Always. It's like Clippy. Do you know this one? Yeah? It got a PhD, and now it wants to refactor your test suite. Okay. Now, AI is everywhere these days. It's from your EDI to your CI pipeline. It's like glitter. Once it's out, it's everywhere. For those of you who have kids, you know what I'm talking about. QA, we as the QA community are feeling the tremors. Our roles are shifting. Our skills are evolving. And suddenly, exploratory testing feels like jazz and a big techno dance. But is it a feature or a bug? When AI suggests a test for a feature that doesn't exist yet, is it a visionary thing or is it just confused? LLMs and Gen AI are the new players in our testing arena. They generate tests, suggest code, analyze logs, cool. And occasionally they hallucinate. The ambiguity is real. Is this brilliance or just beautifully formatted nonsense? That's what we are here to find out. So let's peek inside the box and see what's actually crawling around. Because it's not just tools, it's a real mood thing. Because we have automation, it helps us, but we had this before. You know, who of you have managed to work with robotic process automation? Are there any RPA specialists here in the crowd? It's a form of AI, you know. Our automation tools, it's a form of AI. We don't call it AI, but now there are tool specialists, the companies like, I don't know, let's call some mediocre company like Tricentis. They claim it works on AI. Okay. It helps us with acceleration. This is my good friend Wile E. Coyote. He will be later on because I have the ACME method. And for those of you who know the Roadrunner comics, ACME is a part of that. But he will be back faster than you think, just like our acceleration thing. There's anxiety that came out of the box because it can be overwhelming at sometimes. Your boss is asking, you're on top of the AI game, right? People from your family who are not in IT are saying, you are the AI specialist in our family. We turn to you. Just like when they turn to you when their printer is broken, you know? Yeah. And then there's ambiguity, because we don't actually really know what's going on, you know? We experience fear of replacement. Will it take over my job? Will it take over a job? Who thinks it will take over his or her job? Okay. Well, could be. And we are losing some of our craftsmanship, because when testing becomes auto-generated, where is the art? Where's the nuance? Where's the fun? So, we risk trading human intuition for automation. If we trust the machine blindly, we stop asking weird questions. And that's where the real bugs hide, right? And number two, testing isn't just execution. You know, it's exploration, it's feeling things, and the courage to say, but what if? And speaking of curiosity, you know, let's talk about the awkward first date between QA and AI. Because AI wants to help us, and we, as QA, just wants to build trust. And when your test suite starts referencing to unicorns, sandwiches, and the login form that requires a spirit animal, you know it's time for a serious conversation at the dinner table. It's like dating someone who's finishing your sentences. Actually, there are some LLMs that actually finish your sentences. So, okay. But when it finishes your sentence, there's always some kind of plot twist, right? I wrote 500 test cases overnight. Great. But why are they all about medieval siege weapons? No, the tension is there. So, we're on the date, and we are experiencing real risks. There's over-reliance. When we don't write the things ourselves, there's no second-guessing your work. There's lack of transparency. Where is it all coming from? Is it okay to use? Is it legal? Because it's ripping off things from the internet, the free internet, where people have written many theses, documents, studies. And there's erosion of our exploratory skills. No more exploration means no more adventure, means no more fun. So anyone here ever reviewed an AI-generated test and thought, this is brilliant, but also completely wrong? Yeah. Or worse, this is brilliant, and I have no idea why. So what do? We can't close the box. It's out there. It will be out there. But we can stop poking it blindly. It's time to swap panic for a plan and maybe a snack. So we need a plan. Here my friend Wiley is. And well, let's stop reacting and start strategizing. AI isn't going away, but neither is our critical thinking, our curiosity, and, as I said, our ability to ask, what if? You know, think like a user. We need a plan that blends machine speed with human weirdness. A strategy that respects the chaos, but doesn't surrender to it. And the first thing that comes to mind, are we going to be obsolete? There were a few hands, you know, my job is going to go away. And I put on my tinfoil hat for that. Testers are not obsolete. People are going to need us in the workspace, now more than ever. Because we are evolving. You know, we are learning. Learning with AI, learning by AI, and learning by ourselves by just talking at conferences like this. You know, it's good that I'm up here, but the real conference content comes from talking to each other, right? And we need to test smarter, so we have to evolve even faster. And we need structure, because that's why we have ISTQB, TMAP, stuff like that. Structure, right? So, and I said, well, let's have some snacks. So I put in some snacks. Maybe you recognize some, but still. Okay. Pandora gave us chaos. Okay. But before I explain the plan, actually a helpful method. Funny thing when I flew over here. The Bulgaria Air magazine mentioned artificial intelligence. Meet, maybe you know the guy, Peter Stadev. And he's the chairman of, well, here, the Sofia Tech Park. And also a manager for something really great, the largest petascale supercomputer of Eastern Europe. So, kudos for you, right? It's somewhere here. We're probably not allowed to look at it, but okay. And it's number 8 in Europe. If you're not counting the Czech Republic at number 7 and Slovenia at number 6 as Eastern Europe, I don't know where I draw the line, but okay. Thinking people are needed is the next thing that I read about. Is what this man said. You know, we need thinking people. So I put on my thinking hat and started helping. And he mentioned the 5 sins of AI, refusing to obey. Because sometimes AI just doesn't do what we are telling it. The second one, it makes us dumb. No, I think it makes us smart, but we have to use it wisely. Sounds familiar, like a movie quote. You can come up to me later if you know it. And it destroys the free internet. But there was another thing. The 5 sins are, well, there's energy crisis and debt, but I was really concerned. Who of you lives in Sofia? Okay, and has a house? You are fucking rich people. Because you are having the most unaffordable housing. If you can buy a house here, it equals 1 house in San Francisco and 4 houses in Singapore. Wow. So I'm in good company here. Thank you. I will accept checks and Visa, of course. No, but seriously, let's go to the ACME method. I promised you to talk about it. And ACME is, of course, the largest non-existing company, selling rockets and high-energy roller skates and stuff like that to coyotes to catch a fast-running bird. And actually, it's a mnemonic, which is always a kind of a tongue breaker. There's a movie with Keanu Reeves about it. And there are a couple of famous mnemonics that I would like to discuss with you, like SF Depot. You know, San Francisco does it properly. On Tuesdays or Thursdays, you can switch for that. And the other one is hiccups. And that's for evaluating test oracles. Do you know these? Anyone? No? Someone in the back? Good, because I will do the ACME method, and after this, you know, you don't know these, but you will know the ACME method. So, ACME, what's it all about, René? Well, the A is for anticipate. You know, we are going to deal with AI. You need to anticipate that it will be in the work floor, in your environment. It starts with awareness. You know, be aware. Where is it? You know, look it up. Find it. So detection is important. You have to detect where it is, and you have to understand its ideology. Why is AI doing what AI does? What does it mean for me? What does it mean for my co-workers and the company that we work for? Educate yourself. You know, read about it. That's the only way that you can understand the ideology. And the most simple thing, just start using it. See how it works for you. See if you can train it a bit, that it becomes to be more you. Let's move on to the C, which is control. We are aware now. Now we can control the thing. We can't, but we can give ourselves a kind of feeling about it. After meeting Vipin for the first time, my metaphor with cars is slightly gone. But if you think you control the car, but you don't. Yeah. Important is adaptability. We always say this, right? It was on top of many books. We have to be adaptable because today's knowledge, tomorrow it's obsolete. It goes really fast, so you have to adapt. And you can use Zero AI. There are many good Zero AI tools out there, and I know conferences use it to filter out all the abstracts who are built with AI, just to divide real stuff and bullshit. There's training. There's a lot of training out there by many smart people. And once you are trying to do the control thing, you can do embedding. And you can get certified. Yes, we can. There are a lot of certifications out there. Just like there are LLMs out there are a lot of certifications out there. And that's the learning, that's the training part. Yeah? I don't suggest that you have to do a certification. That's an ongoing discussion in our community as well, right? Do I have to get an ISTQB certification? No, but it helps. Yeah? And then people want money, and then they can do great conferences as well. From control, we move on to manage. And managing with AI, managing to cope with AI starts with getting it a part of your culture, your company culture, your personal culture. So we talked about embedding, that's just in infrastructure in your system, and we have that as well, but this is for your, this is the personal part, your personal culture. Put it in your way of working, for all you agile lovers out there. Make it a part of architecture. It is software. It can be put anywhere in your architecture. It has to have a place there. So smart people in the company know when we do this, it affects something that we do with AI. If we update to the next ChatGPT version, it does something with all the other things. It's just like any normal software or any tooling that you buy. But also for our own testing architecture, it's important. Where do we put it in between our automation tools, or maybe together with our automation tools? And making it a part for the Scrum Masters and product owners in here of your definition of done or ready, or whatever you call it. And now you've managed, so, we are aware, we are in control, we are managing it, and now we can expand, just like AI and LLMs are expanding. Stay informed. Come to conferences like this, listen to crazy people like me, and learn. Read blogs, read articles and studies. And I said use it. And that's your trial and error part. It will fail, it will go wrong, you will be disappointed, and then you will have success. It's like with Thomas Edison, he had to use 10,000 times to make this kind of lighting possible. So it's okay to have errors and to fail. Be open about it, talk about it. It's not a filthy thing, it's a good thing. It's just another step in our IT evolution. And this is what Richard Bradshaw always says, use it early and often. Like Tito, test early, test often. AI early, AI often. It's on your phone, it's on your laptop, it's on your desktop, it is out there. It's probably on your TV as well. And my favorite one, testimisms. What? Well, you saw that I call myself the Testimist. From pessimist, optimist, testimist, like the Americans do, big, bigger American, or these days, big, bigger Trump, or something. And of course, this is a play on euphemisms. It's being positive about what we are talking about. This is great, right? This gives us more work. This gives us more fun. So, I'm always almost in the red zone. So it's time for me to wrap things up. So brace yourselves. And I saw Vipin's slide. We're on the same page here. Anyone notice? The guy is from Game of Thrones, yeah? He's Sean Bean. He gets killed off in every movie and every series in almost the first part. And the music. Anyone knew the music? I have a whole presentation with all kinds of movie quotes and sounds. This is just one. So anyone recognized the theme? Lord of the Rings. It's like going to a Star Wars convention and calling out Star Trek. It was, of course, Game of Thrones, the Winterfell theme. But okay, I'm the only nerd here on stage, probably. Let's do the summary, right? I've told you about opening the box of AI, of Pandora. I have told you about the parallel between the both worlds. What came out? An awkward first date, you know, QA, AI. We are in a dance together. I've explained the ACME method. It's just my idea, of course, but use some of the things that I talked about. It will help you make your work a lot more easy and more pleasurable. And the most important thing, testing off with, by, or for artificial intelligence, because there is no escape anymore. It's here. I know automation for some of you was a hard thing to adapt to, but it was there as well, and you have to work with it. Even when you're in Excel, it's kind of automation. But AI is here, and we are going to have to use it. And now, you know, you have to do some audience interaction. So I'll give you something to interact with. Thank you very much.
So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask it. You will receive a T-shirt for the questions.
One question.
There's one question?
Yeah, only if it's a good question, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Hi.
There are no bad
I'm
questions.
not sure if this is a good question,
Okay.
but I hope it's an interesting one for everyone here. I'm Camila. I just wanted to ask you, for a manual QA who's never integrated the AI in his work, right? What would be the practical steps to start? I know that you said that you need to read about it, right? But you cannot just simply open ChatGPT, give the documentation and ask for the test cases, right? So how you would suggest to start?
Yeah, we're talking about an LLM that is not on-premise, right? Because when it's bought by the company, that's kind of safe, so then you can use it. But if it's open, yeah, don't put your test data out for your company because everyone will enjoy it. And like all the cat meme movies, once it's out there, it will be out there forever. You know, like using test data, don't use the real thing. You know, just so scramble your information, but stay close to what you want to test, just to get acquainted with it. And you can think of real life stuff, like from companies that are already out there doing some things. You know, use that as an example, and then you can go back to the workplace